Now our Jiko is special, right? You guys have heard about hidden Mickeys around Disney World, right? We have a big hidden Mickey at our Jiko, if you can spot it. Yeah, look at our Jiko and look for the hidden Mickey. You see it? Yeah, it's the women. The women always spot it first. Our heritage. This is how we construct our gate. It's our first line of defense against any intruders or wild animals that may want to take, some of our cattle, goats, and the like, even, little kids. So the big gate is then as the first form of protection, right? There would be a sentry behind the gate that looks over the gate downwards. So if anyone wants to come in, they have to shout, right? The sentry would have seen them from a mile away, right? So this is our first form of protection. Right, so it's significant for Jiko to have this kind of gate because as you walk in, we're protecting you, right? You are our wealth, right? So everything wealthy back home is covered by the gate, right? So as we walk along, we look to our right. This is our famous winery, right? We have the largest collection of South African wines outside of South Africa, right? So you can have your pick of South African wines. They'll be housed in here. It's very beautiful. If you come for dinner and you're on a date, you may want to request the wine room. It's pretty spectacular. All right, so around our restaurant, you're going to see these big towels, right, with these big bangles, right? The bangles are worn by independent women of South Africa as well as Zimbabwe. All right, these represent a variety of things. It can be status, age, wealth, as well as knowledge, right? Some of them that are traditional healers will have a lot of these, right? And these may, show their status and their knowledge, right? The chief's queen may have these in brass. Everyone else may have them in copper or some significantly lower metal. So probably the quality of the metal used for the bangles also represents the stature of the person involved, right? You'll see the many tiles over here. These represent the many languages, dialects, and tribes that span the African continent, right? In 52 countries, we have thousands of languages, right? We have a lot that may be going extinct as well, just, colonization, etc. But these represent the gross diversity over the continent, right? You will see that even here, between us, the cultural rifts, many of us come from different parts of Africa. We don't all speak the same language, right? Except English. All right, walk along. Okay, so Jiko in Swahili means the cooking place, right? So you see to our right, this is our cooking place in the restaurant. That is our Jiko. Come this way. Now our Jiko is special, right? You guys have heard about hidden Mickeys around Disney World, right? We have a big hidden Mickey at our Jiko, if you can spot it. Yeah. Look at our Jiko and look for the hidden Mickey. You see it? Yeah, it's the women. The women always spot it first. So if you look to the top there, where the big exhaust, that's our giant hidden Mickey. You see it? Alright, so whilst you're looking up, you're going to see the beautiful blue sky, right? The blue roof represents the almost perfect blue skies that you find in Africa, except when there's a big rainstorm coming, because that's another thing altogether. But flying over the blue sky is the big canoe birds, right? The canoe birds are mythical beings, right, from southern Africa. It is said that if one flies over you, you're going to be prosperous for that season, right? So that may be cropping season, or if it's mining, that mining season. So as we walk through the restaurant and our canoe birds are flying over you, you're going to have a prosperous 2020, right? So come back next year so you can do the same, As you see, our floors are wooden. All right, this represents one of the many building materials we use back home. So wood is very important, right? That's why we need to take care of our trees, right? We need to manage deforestation. We need to make sure that we do everything in a way that conserves our environment. Because we use a lot of wood, you can come through, We use a lot of wood for building, right? All of our structures, as well as some of our what's called tools, handles. They're all wood, right? Metal is not that big. We use a lot more wood. So this is significant that the floor of our restaurant is wooden. And if you look over here, the design, every third tile has this design in it, right? This design is specific. If you pull it up, just imagine pulling it up in a 3D structure, it looks like a drum, right? So it represents a drum. As well, it can represent a grinding mill, right? The manual grinding mills that our moms used to grind some of the small grains that we have back home. All right, so we come over here. As you can see, the condor birds are flying towards the sunset, right? So that represents the beautiful African sunset that you'll witness once you visit our homeland, right? There's nothing as beautiful as an African sunset, trust me. It will blow your mind away. So this is what our birds and our scenery here is doing. As they fly through, they get smaller as they fly towards the sunset and they go to their resting places. All right, and we come through here. So on our left, you see the giant wood-fired ovens. Right? These are imported for Jiko. Right? As you know, that back home we do not have a lot of electricity. Right? Sometimes, our power is cut. And in fact, it's just environmentally friendly to use more of gas as well as wood for your cooking. So our gas ovens represent that, right? This is unique. Food cooked on an electric stove and on a smoke stove, on a wood-fired stove are very different, right? That smoke infuses into the food. It just gives it an extra bit of flavor that you can't get on an electric stove. So the breads, the sausages, the boerewors you will get, they'll all be made from here. You're gonna have a taste of them, right? They'll have that authentic African taste, right? Talk to the chefs, they can give you some of the recipes so you can try and make them at home, right? You may have to make your own wooden stove too. Alright, so we've got Egyptian fatilla bread and some papadum, right? We've got Arusha olives, honey goat cheese, and hummus, alright? Everyone can pick a plate, right? Get some bread, get some dip, have a taste, right? If you have any questions to ask me, please feel free to do so. Come along and have a taste of our food. Anyone have any questions for me? Any misconceptions about Africa they may want to have straightened out before you go over to Boma? Anything weird and funny? None? Alright, I think I'll tell you one thing. In Big Falls, yes, you could find an elephant outside your house. That does happen. I know a lot of people think you can bump into wild animals. Yes, you can. In Big Falls though. Because it's like a wildlife area. The elephant will just walk through town, have a drink in your pool. It's not a big issue. The lions, you could bump into them at about 5 a.m. going to work. That's a big issue. Right? So if it's a lioness, even bigger issue. Like I'm more afraid of the lionesses than the male lions, right? The lioness she's a bit more ruthless, right? The lion king himself, you can have a chat. Hey, I'm sorry, just go about your way, but the lioness should take you out, right? I think coming over here, my biggest fear was I thought Americans were super aggressive, right? All the time. I thought Americans always, but not really. It looks like, have a lunch.
We're on vacation.
Yes, right? So only meet Americans on vacation. Yeah, no, that's great. And I've had a lovely time over here, right? The weather can be funny in Orlando, right? You wake up home, like now it's kind of nippy. It might be warmer as the day goes, but generally it's been a good time. What I can say is please do look up Zimbabwe, right? Look at the Mana Pools, the Victoria Falls, Gonarezhou, Chirezi, just try Google it. There's some beautiful places. You can come and have a safari, right, for a week, right? We're warm, loving people, right? We will, take you in and hopefully make you never want to leave. Right. If there's anything you guys want to ask me, please do. Otherwise, I'll be handing you over to Boma. You can have some more food from that side. Right?
My favorite professor is from Zimbabwe.
It is?
Yes, he was born in Triangle but lives in Blueo.
Oh yeah, Triangle. So Triangle, that's Chireti, right? That's where, what's it called, the Malilangwe Resort is. Bill Gates actually goes there like every other year, right? Oh man, you must tell him that there's this guy from Zimbabwe and he's saying, No, that's awesome. You guys have been superb. You've been great now. You know, I hope we can do this some other time. If I don't see you before you leave, please have a wonderful vacation and safe journeys back home. All right. So now I'll hand you over to the Boma team. All right. They got some cool food. All right. On that side. All right. So you go from here to Dubai.
Okay.
You can do it. Come everybody.
Here to Dubai, Dubai to Zimbabwe.
Okay, let me call you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, should we get started?
Yeah.
So behind me are 3 of the big 5, which is 5 animals that are taken to South Africa. Do we know which animals we have on here?
Lion.
The lion, yes. That is a leopard. You know this guy we have? The African elephant. We have 2 more. You guys, that is a Cape buffalo, and then one more animal that's part of the big 5.
Giraffe.
Not really, but shorter. No. What do you think of Africa? The rhino, yes. So they are called the big 5 because they're amongst the top predators. A lot of them as well are on the going extinct list, so endangered animals. But we do have conservation funds like the Disney Conservation Fund that's working to keep their numbers up, which is really nice. Open it further. So if we have a look above me, we have these blankets.
Sorry.
So in South Africa, where I'm from, these blankets we use to tie kids to us when we're walking far distances. Also, if you go to the bush, so that's when you are initiated as a man, you will wear this blanket to show the community you're now a man in the community. And then if you look at the Boma, Boma is Swahili for safe enclosure. So when we build our villages, we build it in this formation, in the Boma formation. This would be the jungle, where you see the buffet, and where you see the structure over here, that would be the Boma. So the sense of this restaurant is you go out to the buffet, the jungle, hunt for your food, you come back into the safe enclosure and you eat. It's very cool. Okay. We'll gather around this table. Do we know what this table is shaped as? Very good, yes, this is the continent of Africa. Do you know how many countries we have in Africa? Lots. Like, is it on this card? So it's 54. I'm from South Africa. Hence the name, it's in the south. I'm from Cape Town, which is the southernmost tip of Africa. You like really good wine. I'm biased, but I think it's really good wine. Most of the wine comes from the Western Cape, where I come from. We were colonized by the Dutch, so I speak Afrikaans, the Dutch derivative. we also do speak English because we follow the British schooling system. I think my city is the best, biasly, because it's on the coast. So we have one of the 8 wonders of the world, Table Mountain. But then we have the African penguins. During October season, the whales come and swim. That's really beautiful. And it's pretty nice climate. It's tropical. I find Orlando a bit cold. Especially today. Doesn't get too cold every day. You guys have any questions about South Africa?
So does South Africa have like 3 capitals?
Okay, so you have the financial capital, and then you have the parliamentary capital. But it still is one capital, which is Pretoria.
Okay.
Any other questions? Maybe about the type of cuisine? I will be going through it later. Any questions? No? We good? Okay, let's continue. Have any of you ever been to Africa?
We want to.
No, it's on the bucket list.
Yes.
I'm hoping you're going to Cape Town. Okay. So usually we would set the African dishes over here. I'll tell you a bit about the food we eat in the Cape. So we have a big Malaysian population. We call them the Cape Malays, also known as the coloured community, which is what we call them. Then you've got the Dutch, you've got their cuisine. So there's a great variety of cuisine in the Cape itself. Our staple would be pap, which is made from corn, similar to what you have in the States, grits. Have you ever tried grits? It's similar, but we cook it a bit more stiff. And in the Cape, we put everything on the barbecue. We call it a braai. So we throw that on there as well. Another thing is chakalaka, which is sort of like a tomato stew. We traditionally add a lot of vegetables because we do grow a lot of what we eat in the Cape or in Southern Africa and North South Africa. And then another dish that's on here that you probably would not see much is babwati. So if you've tried quiche, it's like a baked egg custard. That's very popular in the Cape. We add a lot of dry fruit, so the food will have a slightly sweet flavor. We'll be eating some mincemeat and egg, and then bam, some dried apricot in there. But definitely give it a try if you're eating at home. Does anyone have any allergies? No allergies, guys? Anyone in the group with an allergy? Allergy. Vegetarian? Yeah. No, who's that? The best
Saves you that arm wrestle.
I'll give you a spoon shortly.
Those are my favorite.
They are. They're mine too.
Thank you so much.